We're live.
Here it is. We are live. I have nothing comedic. I wasn't even ready. I was looking at something.
No.
I don't even know what that is.
Tape. Hey, everybody. It's Ron and Mike here again. It's Wednesday night, and we are You Shitting Me? TMI, the podcast. Sorry I missed you guys last week, but you know what? Life happens. We figured you guys could use a break from us for a day, but you know what? We're back. Mike, how's it going over there?
Back, baby. We're back. Do what now?
We're back, bitches.
Biatches.
Biatch. No, just I know you had a lot going on last week, and I hope everything turned out well. So you're here, so I take it it's a good thing. And,
they didn't subpoena me. I'm good there.
Good. Yeah, that's good. That's a good
thing.
Nothing
like trying to affect a multi-billion-dollar deal. Yeah, it's a long story, and let's not go there.
No. I guess I just hope everything worked out, and must have because you're here and not incarcerated.
Yeah. I'm all is namaste. We're good.
Namaste.
We're good, man.
But last week I had a lot going on. For those of you that don't know, our youngest daughter McKenna got married Saturday, so congratulations to them. So we were on high alert, wedding, bridal shower, rehearsals, and all I gotta say is I'm glad it's over.
I was gonna ask, are you good now? Are you?
Oh man, it's not so much me and because I'm very much like right here when it comes to that kind of stuff, and everybody else is like, oh my god, we got this, oh my god, we got that. Well, that's too bright, that's the wrong color, that's this, that. And I'm just like, you know what? Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. Don't try to steer the river. Don't try to change everything, because when you do that, it just makes things worse most of the time.
Yep. Just let it be.
Yeah.
Roll with the punches, baby. Roll with the punches.
Let it be. Sorry. But I've had a lot of things, go on in the past week that I'm like, man, I should probably talk about this in the podcast. But one of the things is just that marriage. How old were you when you and Carolyn got married? 20s?
Golly, I don't know.
Had to have been early 20s.
Might be, because we're on our 43rd year.
Yeah.
We were talking about this just the other night. I think we've known each other. Carol and I have known each other for 45 years. 45 years.
Yeah.
So I think we were probably
early at least.
Yeah.
Because what are you, 67 now?
Yeah. Uh-oh. I'm having a problem, Ron. Uh-oh. Oh.
Technical difficulties. But yeah, Matt, absolutely. I know you feel my pain, because
if
I can only imagine what you're dealing
with.
I can only imagine what you're dealing with right now, because you are, for lack of a better term, the father of the bride.
Yeah, he is.
But that my point was, talking about weddings, it's when you see these guys getting married at this age, and you think back to when you got married, Matt, I don't know how old you were. You were probably a little older, but for those of you who don't know, I've been married 3 times. My first marriage, I was 20 years old. And now with my wife, Michelle, which I love to death, we've been together longer than any of our previous relationships combined. We've been married, I think, for 16 years, together for 20.
Yep.
Back to you, Mike.
Okay.
Sorry, did I wake you up? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I'm actually paying attention. I'm watching the internet thing. It acts like it's going to try to drop here.
It's that Texas internet.
I tell everybody all the time, I got real lucky. I married my second wife the first time around. I didn't have to go through that whole, test and trial thing. So I got lucky
Sure.
with Carolyn.
Sure. Yeah, and like Ron Jr. and Cecily, they've been together since they were, I want to say 15, 16 years old, and they're 35 now.
Right. I know they've been together a long, long time.
Yeah, and
And that's a beautiful thing in this in today's world.
in today's day and age, it's damn near unheard of, Mike.
That's awesome, man.
My uncle Zeke and my Aunt Pat, they've been married. I want to say, if I said 60 years, I don't think I'd be lying.
No, I bet you're right.
I
bet you're right.
Yeah, and you're right. It's a rare thing in today's day and age. Marriage has become a very disposable thing. Back in our days, or mom and dad or grandma and grandpa, especially grandma and grandpa's days. I mean, it was you fixed it. If it was broken, you fixed it. Nowadays,
grandpa and grandma had some problems. You're too young to remember, but they had some issues. But yeah, in those days, you just kind of fought through it. Look, Carolyn and we've had rough spots. Nothing to, where either one of us is going to leave. We learned early. You either learn how to fight through this, or the chips will fall where they may. And I don't mind sharing this, and I'm sure you're going to be on board with me. Look, we come from the proverbial broken home, right? I mean, our home was fucking broken. I knew when I was young that whenever I did get married, I really wanted to have a house full of kids. I just wanted a bunch of kids. And here's what I knew, even at an early age. I thought, and those kids are only going to know one set of parents.
Yeah.
Because of everything that we had been through. And so God saw fit to give me one. And I think he just wanted to say, okay, let's see if you screw this one up. And that's what we have. We have one son. But my point was, look, when Carolyn, we were having a hard time when Carolyn got pregnant. I was working at KRDO there in Colorado Springs, really not making a great deal of money, but the career was, clearly getting started.
Sure.
And so when we found out she was pregnant, my first thought was, oh God, how are we going to pay for this? But here's what we learned. And this is what I told people as I got older was, if you're going to wait until you think you can afford a child, no matter at what point in life that is, you're never going to have a kid. No. You never will.
No,
you just figure it out, man. That's what you have to do. You know that. I know that. God bless little Ron, man. I mean, dude's
a stud, man.
That's an awesome example. That's an awesome story right there, man.
Yeah,
he's outstanding.
Yeah, he is. He's a stud, man. He's a man's man. He takes care of his family and works hard. He has his daytime 9-to-5 job, and then him and his partner have a commercial cleaning business, the side hustle they do on the side. And you do what you got to do. And that brings you back to yeah, right. His mother, but
yeah, why?
But that's my favorite saying, and I think the pastor at the church we were going to at the time said it. He goes, nobody gets married and then 50, 60 years later says, whoo, that was great. That was just the easiest thing in the world. Like, no, yeah. It's a flipping job. You get up and you work at it day by day. Because I tell you what, I'm sure everybody, Matt, Mike, anybody that's going to watch us now or in the future can attest to, it's a different thing every day. There's going to be things in your life that come up that are going to not only challenge you, but challenge your relationship. And it's how you handle that is what's going to be the basis of your relationship. You can cut bait and run, or you can stand up and fight for what you want.
See, and that's I love the way you put that. Yeah, everybody has at some point that option to, as you just put it, cut bait and run. But for those that understand, it takes some effort, it takes some work. It's a two-way street. It's a push, it's a pull, it's a tug. Man, there's a payoff. I'm telling you. Ronnie can tell you, I can tell you, most anybody who's been married for 15, 20 years, they're going to be able to tell you, look, man, just do what you have to do, put in the effort, because I promise you,
Sure.
near the end, at some point, you're going to look at each other and go, this has been pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, Carolyn and I, like as we said earlier, I think we're in our 43rd year. We got married in 82. But here's something that I really haven't even shared with her too much. And that is, at 63 years old, I think I love her more today than I did when we got married.
Dude, absolutely.
I think I love her more today than I loved her yesterday. And I loved her to death yesterday. And this is what's really starting to manifest itself within me, is now everything I do seems to be, the story with Michael and that side of things. So it's my want right now, what I'm after is, still recover from the loss of the business, but get to a point to where Carolyn and I can really just start enjoying life, because you don't know how much time you have. I could get eaten by a giraffe tomorrow. It could be
Cocaine bear.
Cocaine bear could come get me. Who knows what's going to happen? But the way that you stated it earlier, man, you just grind this shit out. And and so, like I said, I've been fortunate. What scares me, though, I don't know if this is like for you and Michelle, what scares the shit out of me is, I'm telling you, Carolyn can read my freaking mind.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, to the point to where it's scary as shit.
And I'm sure Matt can attest to the same thing, man.
How the hell did you know that?
After a while, they know you better than you know yourself.
That's why I try to be careful what I'm thinking. It's like, yeah, that's what I was thinking, honey. That's it.
But it's funny. I was talking to a client today about that, and the one rule I have for myself is I never leave this house without telling the girls I love you, ever.
Oh, please. Yep.
I don't care if we're in a good space, if we just had a bad fight, I don't give a fuck what it is. You never leave the house without saying I love you.
Don't go to bed.
Like you said, Mike, you never know when it's going to be the last time. You never know. You walk out that door, you don't know if you're going to have another opportunity.
Never know. Never can tell.
No.
No, I do it every morning. I shudder to admit that Carolyn and I act like kids in the morning. We really do.
So do
we act like stupid kids, and then when we get ready and we get into bed at night, there's a little routine we go through with us and the puppies. But I always make sure to let her know I love her, because
Absolutely.
Again, you just don't know. But yeah, it's I don't even know how we got started on this, but marriage is like anything else, and I'm telling you, I really, when I think about people today, and the fear of having a child, or the unknown of having a child, dude, I'm saying, let her rip, kids.
Yeah.
You'll get it figured out, because and here's the other thing, and I know you'll get this. Matt gets it, I'm sure. This is how I describe life after Michael. Ready? So Michael was born, then he started kindergarten, then he was in junior high school, then he asked to borrow the car to go to a high school prom. He graduated, got married. I have grandkids, and I couldn't tell you what happened in between all that, because it happened that fast.
Absolutely, dude. But that's the fun part of the ride.
Man, it went that quick. I mean, I woke up one day and I'm looking at myself and I thought, damn, playa, what the hell happened?
I think my aha moment was when my oldest granddaughter they use our address for her to go to school just because it's in a little nicer area. And so one day she had stayed the night. She's like, "Hey, Papa," she goes, "Can you give me a ride to school?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. I'll give you a ride." So I drop her off. And I turn around. I'm coming home, and it hit me like a ton of flipping bricks, Mike. I'm like, I just dropped my granddaughter off at high school. And literally, I mean, put that in your head. It's like, wasn't I just like 17 or 18 years old just not too long ago?
Right?
I mean, I still act that way. I may not feel that way, but yeah, it's
in here.
I agree with what you said, Mike.
I'm killing it, man. In here,
absolutely.
I'm awesome.
Here's a funny story. Here's a great story. It just reminded me of a story. As a matter of fact, I was driving, and this happened. This happened maybe a year or so ago. I'm driving down, and this fucking guy just comes up the side street. Wham! We're right in front of me, slams on his brakes. I hit my brakes, and we turn, and he's going to turn left on the highway. I'm going straight, and I kind of roll the window down. I'm like, "Dude, why are you driving like a dumbass?" And he's got his window rolled down. He's like, "Man, just shut up, man." I'm like, seriously, dude, you're gonna hurt somebody or kill somebody. He's like, he goes, "Shut your mouth, old man." I'm like, I'm doing it. I didn't know what to say. I stopped. I kind of looked in the rearview mirror. I'm like,
"Uh-oh."
That's
the only thing you could do after that is.
I had no comeback after that.
What do you say to that? It's like, no, because no matter look, it's one of those things that no matter what we say afterwards, we lose.
Oh man!
If we reply to it, then we've confirmed the fact we're old.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Shut up.
Seriously, I don't remember what happened. I think I chuckled because I'm just like, I just got fucking called out.
That's it. Oh my Lord, I'm an old man.
Oh, that's great. Wow.
That's hilarious. I'm not sure what Carolyn meant by.
Oh, I know what she meant by that.
Then he left us for good.
Your story about kindergarten, junior high.
Oh yeah.
I still love you, Carolyn. And the puppies. We all love who doesn't love puppies?
Who doesn't love puppies?
I think puppies are the best invention ever.
We've got one that we watch frequently. I've adopted her as my niece. So she's Brandy. Someday I'll have to shoot video. Brandy
is a fine girl.
Ball. No, Brandy can play ball. Brandy can throw a ball better than I can.
And what a good wife she will be.
And what a good wife she will be someday.
But my life, my love,
my
lady,
no,
is the sea. All the sailors sip, Brandy, you're a fine girl, fine pup.
There's a point in a western town, and she works laying whiskey down.
Yeah.
They say, "Brandy, fetch another round."
She serves them whiskey and wine. Yeah, good song. Was that the Hourglass?
It is a great song. It's Hourglass. Yeah, you ever seen them sing it though?
It's funny. It's so funny you mentioned that because
I'm sorry. I've seen the artist.
Yeah,
it's such a mind blower. Right? This is coming from a radio guy. This is coming from a dude that always says, "I have a face for radio."
Who was the one the one that sings "When I was a younger man, I hadn't a care, fooling around, hitting the town." It's not Ambrosia. It's
no, it's Ambrosia.
But anyway, I happened to see that video come up. I was watching. I'm like, that's fucking corny.
Yeah.
It looks like straight out of the 70s.
Watch Leo
Climax Blues Band.
It is Climax Blues Band.
Yes.
Leo Sayer.
Oh yeah. You talk about a voice that doesn't match.
Leo Sayer, I Can Dance. Watch that one. And that's another one where you go, I'm really sorry I ever saw this.
Simply Red.
Now, Simply Red. No, I like Simply Red.
No, I like Simply Red, but when you hear the music and you see the guy, it's just like,
yeah, but even for the look, I'm still okay. I'll take Simply Red over.
No, not
Actually-
Red. I'm thinking of Rick Astley.
Really?
Never gonna give you up. Never
Yeah.
gonna let you down. Yeah. Yeah, he looks like a little freaking choir boy, but he's got that, that bluesy kind of deep voice sound to him. You see him.
There's a dude right now. You have to look him up because I can't.
I know. I watch him all the time. I know what you're talking about. Little redheaded nerdy dude with the glasses.
Yeah.
I watch him all the time.
But he throws
Dude
down
is
Motown,
butter.
man.
He is straight.
Oh man, I'm
butter.
smooth. Have you seen the one where he did the Apollo? And
yes.
It looked like the crowd was going to kill him until he nailed.
If you closed your eyes and listened to him, you would swear it was Barry White or Keith Sweat.
Dude, he was doing Luther. He was doing
Vandross. Oh yeah, any one of those.
Nobody takes on Luther. This guy did, and I thought there's no way you're going to put. Are you?
You are not Luther.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the guy's good. Can't think of his name. But
fuck. Who needs a name with a voice like that?
Oh my lord! And it just. But to see the Apollo crowd was hilarious.
Oh yeah,
Steve Harvey. It was Steve Harvey and some other people, and to watch them go.
Oh yeah,
I'm telling you, there are some artists you don't fuck with. Luther Vandross is one for me, and I thought, oh, dude, you're going to.
Well, same thing with
Whitney jaw hit the floor. I thought, you just nailed that kid.
Watch America's Got Talent or something. That people will come up there and they'll try to do like a Mariah Carey or a Whitney Houston or Prince or something like that. Those high note type singers, and then it just sends chills. Where you just when they hit those notes, you're just like, good God.
Yeah, I love that when music can move you like that, or an artist can actually emote you to that point.
Yeah,
and there have been a few, but then there have been some that. I thought, okay, you moved me until I saw you, and now I'm kind of sorry. I know what the hell you look like.
No, you just fucked it all up.
But yeah, Looking Glass is one of them. Now it's
Looking Glass. Oh yeah,
the 70s.
They look like a bunch of hippies that just got off their Harleys,
and that was in the 70s era when I didn't even do this shit because I don't have a hairy chest. But they were wearing their shirts all unbuttoned, but they would tie them at the bottom like some bitch blouse or something. And that's what these guys are doing.
Dude, you just described Andy and Barry Gibb. I mean,
pretty much, didn't I?
They always have their buttons down and their big furry chest out. I'm like, dude, put on a shirt. Put on a shirt.
Maybe it's
not Wolfman
like
Jack.
The image. I sent this one to Uncle Ken a while back, or he may have sent it to me. But there's an image where it says, "Hey, they said it was going to be in the 70s today."
And, and the guys with their tube socks and shorts mowing the yard. Yeah.
These guys are wearing their like pimp clothes, man. It's just like, dude, seriously? I didn't think this was cool when I lived through it, with one exception.
It's definitely not cool now. No.
I was a platform shoes guy. I did have a
funny
pair
you
of
mentioned that. The term platform shoes came up this weekend because the girls were talking about high heels and the shoes. And somebody had said, yeah, guys used to wear shoes like these. I'm like, yeah, they were called platforms.
Platforms.
Yeah, absolutely. What movie was it? And I don't know if it was a spoof or what, but the guy had the platforms on it. And the bottom of it was so big it had a fish in it.
Yeah. It's is it Undercover Brother?
I think it might have been
Undercover Brother.
But something along those lines.
Yeah, and he was Pimp of the Year. It was the guy that played Huggy Bear in the actual Starsky Hutch. He was that guy. So he was he was Pimp of the Year. He had one Pimp of the Year, went to prison, got out, and that's the only outfit he had. And so he's walking down the street, Fly Guy. In fact, that was his name, Fly Guy. And so yeah, he's walking out, and all the neighborhood people are laughing at him, and he ends up breaking one of the shoes, and the fish come out. But yeah, I think was that Undercover Brother?
No, was it Undercover Brother?
I know the guy's name was Fly Guy.
We'll have to
and
GTS.
It was Pimp of the Year.
Google that shit.
Yeah, you got to GTS it.
GTS.
All right.
What else you got, Mike? Empty. Carolyn,
Empty.
get on that. Oh, garçon.
La
Garçon.
cerveza más fina, por favor.
Poor fat whore.
Please. I got nothing tonight. Now that we've talked about serious stuff like marriage, I got.
You know, it's in the air. You know, Matt's daughter's getting married. Our daughter got married. I think it was apropos. I think it was, you know, par for the course to at least discuss it because I mean, shit, we've all been married forever.
Some of us more than others.
Amen. It's a good thing, though.
It is a very good thing.
But you know, you said something earlier, Mike, and I forgot to say what I was going to say. But you said, you know, after 40 years, you love her more now than you did then, and I'm going to tell you why I think that is because I feel the same way about Michelle. It's the experiences that you guys go through together. It's that bond that you create, and whether it's good or bad or impartial, it doesn't matter. It's just those shared experiences that just pull you guys together. And you know, when I say my wife is my best friend, I mean that wholeheartedly. You know, she's my go-to for anything that happens during my day. You know, she probably gets mad at me because I text or call her at least 4 or 5 times a day, if not more. You know, but you know what? I want her to know I'm there.
See, I don't bother Carolyn that much, but you're absolutely correct. It's the experiences, good, bad, or indifferent, along the way that we were talking about this just not long ago, and I said, you know, maybe sometimes I stop and I think, you know, God, have I wasted my life? I mean, look where I'm at, look where we are, and I wonder, man, if I could go back, what would I change? And then she stops me.
Not a damn thing.
And she says, if you change something, we wouldn't be here.
Yep.
And then
Smart
she stops and reminds me, okay, yeah, we've had some problems. I've had some problems, business and otherwise. But at the same time, I have a shitload of memories.
Absolutely.
That we've shared together. I mean, some of the stuff that we've been able to do, some of the stuff my career has allowed me to do, people I've met, things I've done. About the time I'm feeling sorry for myself, she comes along and says, you know what? Not everybody got to do this, and this.
Amen.
And yeah, you're right. You're right. So yeah, she's absolutely right. If you changed one thing, chances are we wouldn't be here.
That's always my go-to statement. You know, I wouldn't change anything in my life because if I did, everything that we've done in our life, Mike, has put us where we're at today.
It leads to right where we're at.
And it's not to get all religious on everybody, but it's God's purpose as to why we're at where we're at today. And had you changed anything, yeah, you know, you don't know. Like I say, if I had changed things, I'll tell you a quick story. When I was just turned 18 years old, I got arrested in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And before then, I was enlisted to go into the Air Force. So I was supposed to go to basic in January, but because I got arrested, the Air Force denied me. Had none of that happened, odds are Michelle and I never would have met. I wouldn't have Ron Jr. I wouldn't have Elena. I wouldn't have a lot of the things that I have in my life right now. So I feel extremely blessed because that happens. And you kind of have to take that look on life. You can't take it as a what if. Well, fuck, there's no question. Yeah. There's no answer to a what if question. You know,
well,
what if the sun doesn't come up tomorrow? No, shit, I don't know. You know,
I think the key is you said it just a moment ago, and it's, you know, at the end of the day, this is something I'm really, really becoming aware of. Everything is in God's plan, not my plan. Because Amen. when I try to, as I tell people, Michael J. it, I fuck it up. It just
you try to steer the river. Yep.
Yeah. And but as I've learned to just kind of let go and just take the steps and go wherever it takes me, life has been pretty good. The other thing that I've really come to terms with is I think about when I'm thinking about the things I don't have, the things I wish I did have, or the things that I've lost, in the last couple of 2-3 years. I've really come to this, and it is, they weren't mine anyway.
Right.
Everything I own is because of God. It's His. And I've now reached a point where if somebody were to say, hey, can I? Yeah, absolutely. Borrow it, have it. It ain't mine, man. And it took, and I have to be honest, I know a cat, kind of consider him a friend, and he happens to be a billionaire. And I had him on the show one day last year, and I just said, hey, Alex, what's it like? I mean, he gave a $25 million donation to one of our local universities. And I said, look, I'm not going to bug you about the money. Everybody knows who you are, what you do. But I said, I have to ask you this. What is it like to be Alex? What is it like to be able to make that kind of a donation? And he just kind of sat back in a chair and smiled and leaned forward and said, Michael, it's not mine anyway. It belongs to God. And if that's what God wants me to do with it, that's what I'm doing.
That's awesome.
And I told him, and I've told him a number of times since then, I said, dude, I don't think you know how heavily you impacted me with that simple statement. I have a gentleman that lives across the street. He's struggling. I know he doesn't have a lot of money, and he just got hit by a car, had to have hip surgery. And he's trying his damnedest to take care of his house. And I've been in his house. He doesn't have hardly any furniture. And what he does have, most people would probably throw away. Right. And so he comes over. His name is Mike. And he says he'll ask for things every once in a while. And so this past weekend, he says, hey, Mike, can I borrow your weed eater? And I said, yeah. Let me make sure the battery is charged up and it's full of twine for you. So he took it, and I think he actually, instead of mowing his yard, I think he tried to weed eat his entire backyard because he would send me, he has my number, so he sent me a text, and he says, hey, is it okay if I just hang on to this for the night? I said, absolutely. Come over and get the charger. You're going to need it. So he came over, got the charger. I put some more twine on it, some more line on it for him. He had it for, I think, 2 or 3 days. Wasn't worried about it one moment because I've just reached that point of, you know what, God, if it disappears, if something happens.
Yeah, he needed it more.
He needed it more than I did. So that's, and when you reach that moment in your life, when you're able to get to this point in your life, do I still need? Yeah. But there's a difference in my world between what I need and what I want.
Well, there's a difference between want and need.
Yeah.
I think of it is, Mike, and you almost touched on it, but you and I are very similar in the fact that for the past however long we've pretty much been self-employed. We depend on us to get the job done, to bring money home, whatever. And I look at that sometimes, and I get that feeling of, man, I wish I had this, man, I wish I had that. But I always come back to the same thing. I have way more than a lot of people.
Amen, brother.
More than I deserve, I feel a lot of times. And Michelle she kicks this into me a lot of times too. If you're blessed, be a blessing. And we try to, do as much as we can for as many people as we can. But on that same note, though, you kind of have to guard your heart too. You can't just be willy-nilly and try to help everybody, because you can't. Because if you don't help yourself first, you can't help anybody else.
Yeah, it's for me, it's I'd rather be a lender and not a borrower. I want to be the head, not the tail.
Sure.
But yeah, it's every day. I find that I have everything I need. May not be everything I want, but at the end of the day, I have everything I need. And I tell people this all the time. And you're absolutely right. I know about the time that I think, gosh, I need this, or I wish I had that. There's something that washes over me that makes me remember, you know what? I can walk out on that street and I can go find 10 people that would take my life in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
They love
20.
everything I have. They take all my bills. They take all my problems because it comes with everything else I have beyond that.
Yep.
And so, yeah, we need to kind of keep that in mind is, about the time we're thinking, shit, I got to do this, or I wish I had that. Yeah, I'm sure there are people right out there, man. I can go find, like you said, 10, 20 of them.
Yeah. So you wish you had a new car. They wish they had a roof over their head.
Yep. Every morning I wake up, I sit on the edge of my bed and I put my bare feet on the floor and I think, you know what, God, thank you for a good night's sleep. Thank you for the air conditioning. Thank you for the carpet on the floor. May not be the newest, may not be the best, but it's mine.
Yep. No, absolutely. No, I agree. And I think if more people in the world, I don't want to say live by that rule, but just kind of had that same general idea about life would be so much better. I mean, life's hard enough as it is without making it harder.
Oh yeah.
I try to be put on a smile and go about my day, but sometimes like you, I'm a little hot headed and things piss me off. But in my older age, I've come to learn how to woosah.
You've come to, and this is going to be a great thing to end on. You've come to this point where somebody can yell at you that you're an old man and you have no retort. You have no
I seriously think I laughed. I'm like, you got me.
Bravo! Yes.
Was it the gray? Is that what gave me away?
Oh, God, don't talk about it. You see what's happening to your older brother. My sideburns now, and what's really bad is now my eyebrows. I'm getting nice eyebrows.
Nice.
Yeah. So I got that going for me. I'm not aging well at all, man. My teeth are all
I will say, in our upbringing, in our raising, and like Mike said, we come from a broken home. We have, Mike and I have, different fathers. Don has a different father.
Oh shit, yeah.
So on and so forth. But you know what? The best thing about it is, you don't have to be blood related to be family. There's a lot of family that I hate to say it, but friends are more of a family. You got to surround yourself with the people that make you feel that way, that are important to you, that bring you that feeling. And they kind of go along with the same values that you have. And man, it's so nice when you get a group of people that are, I don't want to say exactly alike, but at least have a like think mentality, that agree with the way you live your life and the things that are important to you. Because like I told Michelle, my thing is, I worry about me and the two girls that live in this house. Anything outside of that is just extra.
I agree. But I still, and you said it yourself earlier, I keep a guarded heart, but I'm always on the lookout for something I can do to lift somebody up. And it doesn't have to be money or anything. It could be, look, dude, I like to cut up going through the checkout lane. I was the radio station, the radio group I work for, doing a contest right now. So I had to do my part to film this little deal. And we filmed it over at the American Quarter Horse Hall of Fame and Museum, which I have not been in for a few years. And it's outstanding. If you're in Amarillo, go to the AQHA. It is freaking awesome. But while I'm in there, because I'm this guy, I talk to everybody. I will put on a floor show for everyone who comes walking in, right? And so I met people from Cody, Wyoming. They knew the Verbo we stayed in. Nice. 3-4 years ago. They say, yeah, I know the guy that owns it. I know where you were. Cool. Because Carol and I would like to go back. Met some other people from Weatherford, Texas. I haven't been down there in a while. But there was this young kid couldn't be 8, 9, 10 years old. He's watching what we're doing. And so during one of the breaks, he's kind of by himself. And he says, "Hey, is this for TV?" And I said, no, it's for a video that'll be posted on our website. Will I be able to see it? And I said, well, sure. So I'm talking to this kid. And as I'm talking to him, I come to this realization. We have forgotten how to fucking talk to each other.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I'm talking to this kid and I'm kind of wondering, like, where are your parents? But the kids, he's engaging me.
Yep.
And so I'm yucking it up with these people. So as we get towards the end and we're making our way to the front door, the last segment I have to record is at the front door where everybody comes in, right? So I'm standing there in front of the counter where the two people that work there really are. And this small family comes walking in, two adults and what looked like about a teenage daughter. They come walking in. And so without skipping a beat, hey, welcome to the AQHA. We're so glad you're here. My name is Michael J. Stevens. And where are you from? Oh, we're from Wyoming. But they named an area of Wyoming I wasn't familiar with. So I said, there's some people in here from Cody. I hope you bump into them. And so we jawed for a little bit. And now they're wanting to pay me. I said, oh, no. I don't work here. These people do. They're just laughing. They're thinking, we weren't sure we had a job. But that's what I'm talking about. And here's the other thing. I really didn't want to do this. And I have learned, Ron,
but you enjoyed it, didn't you?
The more that I step out of my comfort zone,
amen,
the more shit I get to experience. And I really didn't want to do this. And I hate to admit that now to Bryce or anybody that may be watching. I really didn't feel like doing it this day, but I went and I did it. When I was done, I'm telling you, Bryce drove, we were in his vehicle. And in my mind, I was just thinking, thank you, God. Thank you for making me do something else that I didn't really want to do. And thank you for the opportunity to speak to these people.
Sure.
Because we have forgotten how to talk to each other. And I'm telling you, I had the best 2 hours doing that afternoon. And I don't know, I think the kid was from Arizona. There were some people from Prescott, and I think he was with that group. Gotcha. And I just thought, dude, I don't know your name, young man, but he taught me, he reminded me, there's great value in still just talking to each other. Here's what I took away. We've talked about this before. We don't talk about politics or religion on this show, but here's what I took away from that. Everybody I spoke to, I couldn't tell you if they were gay, lesbian, straight.
Absolutely.
I couldn't tell you what their political affiliation was. I couldn't tell you what makes them happy, pisses them off. That was just people talking.
People being people.
And I loved it, man. I thought that is the old beatnik hippie in me coming out. I thought, God, this was awesome.
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing my wife always tells me, and it kind of goes right along with this, is faith without action is dead.
Yeah.
You can have all the faith in the world, but if you don't practice it and you don't go out there and, like you said, you wake up in the morning, you're like, God, direct me, do this, that, whatever, I have faith in you. But if you don't go out there and do those things, it's pointless, because you never know. You're one day, especially with you. I mean, you talk for a living. That's what you do. One of these days, you're going to meet somebody that's just going to have such a profound effect on your life just because you had a conversation with them.
Yeah, you never know who it's going to be.
Yep, you never
can tell.
And the crazy old guy in aisle 5 at Lowe's.
And I was going to say, and it's reversed too. Because
sure.
The last thing I say in prayer every morning is, and God, please help me to influence at least one person.
Absolutely.
I don't need to know who it is. I just need to know that I impacted somebody's moment, an hour, a day, a life. It doesn't just let me impact somebody. And I don't need to know who they are.
Because there's so many people out there in today's day and age that do the exact opposite. That they're out there to be combatants. They're out there to pick a fight. They're actually out there to provoke somebody. So, people like us and like-minded thinking people need to be the exact opposite of that. Let's go out and make a friend, talk to somebody, get knowledge, man. I mean, Mike and I have said it before. I mean, you talk to some of these old cats and they love to talk about their stories. If you get one started, hey man, tell me about this. Hey man, tell me about that. Oh, it's like, it's like verbal vomit. They just start talking and you're like, fine. You're like, shut the fuck up.
Pretty much, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, I am that guy now. I've become the old guy that if you'll ask, you better sit down because it's the
let me warm up a pot of coffee for you, son.
Yeah.
Because we drink hot drinks around here.
Yeah, buddy.
Well, anyway, we're about 45 after, even though Mike and I both said we were tired. It wasn't going to take very long tonight.
Right.
But that's the best thing about this, Mike. I have to tell you, that's one of the things that I like about doing this with you, not just the fact that I get to see you once a week. When we start talking, it's just a natural flow. It's things come out and we talk about life experiences. We talk about new things that are going on, even though originally we started talking about 60s, 70s, and 80s stuff. But man, life is life. I don't care if you were born in the 70s. Yeah, make it up. Yeah. I don't care if you were born in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Life is life. And it's funny how the longer it goes, the more things repeat themselves. You understand what I'm saying?
You kidding? I'm 63. Everything fucking repeats for me.
Yeah, it's
and I'm glad to repeat it for you.
I'm a repeater.
Please be kind and pretend it's the first time I've said it.
Right? Yeah. Just be like the guys out in Home Depot parking lot.
That's going to be my next shirt, dude. That's my next shirt.
Yeah. Please be kind if I've already said this.
Pretend I've already said it. Pretend it's the first time I've said it.
Right. Well, anyway, thank you so much, Mike. Love you. Appreciate you. Matt, Carolyn, everybody that joined us. Thanks for joining us. Matt, good luck to you in your trials and tribulations with the marriage. I feel your pain, and I have no hesitation in telling you, I am glad it's over with. God love them. I hope and I have to tell you something real quick. Our new son-in-law, Luis Carrera, I said in the wedding, we could not have handpicked a better person to join our family. He is an outstanding young man, hardworking, dedicated, just such a kind soul. That's the best way to put it. Just a kind soul. And we welcome him to the family. And Matt, I'm sure Kat and her guy are going to be wonderful as well. And it's such a nice thing to see these young kids.
Hey, we got to be good to him.
Yeah.
Kat's fiance, he works for
Broncos.
Yeah, baby.
Broncos, baby.
I'm expecting him to hook Uncle Mike up.
Uncle Mike, and Uncle Ron, man, don't just think about yourself.
Okay, just hook us up. I'm older than you are.
I smell food out in the kitchen. Love you.
Oh, okay. Well,
we'll see you guys next week. Love you guys.
Okay, old man.
See you. Bye.
Love you. See y'all later.